Let me first give you a summary of what ethical theories are about. Broadly speaking, there are two types of ethical theories. One is called the consequentialist theory, other one is the non-consequentialist theory. Consequence means you know the meaning, isn't it? What is the consequence of something, the end of something, the final effect of something. So consequentialist theories are those which tell you the ethics is based on the consequence or the end to be achieved by the action. If the end is good, if it is useful to humankind, if it is giving you happiness, well-being, pleasure, then the action is justified. This is what the consequential theories will tell you. Okay, so it depends on the end to be achieved. So usually the end is taken to be happiness, utility, pleasure. These are the ends. So accordingly, you have consequentialist theories, and these theories you will find everywhere in every culture, and even in Indian culture, Charvak philosophy was based on this kind, that the end justifies the means. If the end is acceptable enough, then the means, any means is all right. There was this famous saying with the Charvaks, Yavat jivet sukham jivet, rinam kritva ghritam pibet. You've heard of it? This is the philosophy of materialists. Live well, even if you have to go into debt, but you must have ghee. That's the meaning. So the end justifies the means in these theories. And then the second type of theory, ethical theory, is non-consequentialist theory, which means no, the end should not justify the means. The consequence should not matter. It is duty which matters. Ethics based on duty fulfilled by the action is non-consequentialist theory. Now you pay a little attention to this and see what they are trying to mean by that. You see, we have a feeling of ought to. I ought to do this. This ought to be done. This is something which I cannot let go. We have this kind of a moral obligation within us, which always directs us to something which we feel we have to do. When there's a wrong action, something within us tells us, no, you can't do this. Isn't it? Popularly call it the conscience. But this ought to feeling is very strong in human beings. And this is what Kant called the categorical imperative, inner categorical imperative, which means there's an inner command which tells me what I ought to do, what I ought not to do. So this is an ethical system based on this. Are you getting the point? So it is duty based, not consequence, not end based, not the result based. Now many of the popular theories of ethics are non-consequentialist. It depends on your duty. What the action you are going to generate is going to depend on your duty, the rightness or wrongness of that action. You see, for a soldier, killing is a right action. Killing as such, violence may be wrong, but for a soldier, that is his duty. So the action is justified. So this kind of a theory this is called deontological theory. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, the Arjun is a warrior and he's being urged to fight, isn't it? Why is he being urged to fight? Because his dharma is that of a soldier, of a warrior. He has to protect the people. So the action is justified, which means action based on duty is what is seen in this branch of ethics. It is not based on consequence. It is not consequential. So many of the philosophers, even Yoga Vedanta thinkers like Prabhakara, all of them subscribe to this deontological view, theory of ethics. आप सोच के देखो, बहुत interesting है. If you actually think what they are trying to say, it is very interesting. How do you judge the rightness or wrongness of an action? The third group of theories are called virtue ethics, which means it is based on the character of persons or the ethos of a particular community. And virtue ethics, popularly you can say, like at the time of the Smritis, Ram Rajya was a great thing, isn't it? A certain set of virtues which characterize the Ram Rajya. It is based on the virtue of a particular person, the ethos of a particular, that Suryavamshi family. है ना? आपने सुना होगा ये. तो वो क्या कहते थे? Their famous उनका नारा motto was प्राण जाए पर वचन ना जाए, है ना? So that is why the whole Ramayana has been like that. certain very strong ethical values, very strong things fixed, and then that creates value ethics, virtue ethics. These virtues are sort of part and parcel of either the person or the community. So they may be just ethnic, they may be part of a nation state, but these virtue ethics, everything falls into this. It is based on virtue.